Irsu is one of the popular top-tier factions in competitive scene and favorite for player who wants to rush in and deal tons of damage. In this video we will go through every unit of the roster. We are starting with Hupshu Warriors, who are good for their front line. They will cut through other fodder units and pin opponents for your chargers. I'm using them to eat enemy javelins and charges, pulling them back and sending them to flanks. Hupshu Clubmen are very strong cycle chargers. Their huge charge, attack and weapon that ignores armor is good reason why everybody is using them. To have them even more broken, gain 9 XP chevrons and try them out. Sabu Nagib Spearmen and other Sabu Nagib units have a new ability called Headless Charge. If you are taking time and not YOLO charging into opponent right from the start, then they will go berserk and charge alone. With the Spearmen you want to charge enemy chariots, but don't worry, they are strong enough to charge into any mid-tier opponent as well. Remember to pull them away from combat when you can, so you can cycle charge again. Sabu Nagib Swordsmen are average and balanced based on stats, but strong when they go berserk. Because of their shield, I use them as my first front line, spreading them from each other so they don't blob and letting them headlessly charge into enemy front line. They are like dangerous, shielded and armored fodder. Sabu Nagib Warriors are more dangerous, better against shielded and armored opponents. I always try to use them as second line, so they headlessly charge after other units, and with Berserk they are amazing at cutting through enemies. Sabu Nagib Chargers are the most risky headless charger unit. On one hand they deal tons of damage even without Berserk, on other hand you need to protect them from missiles. The only good way to protect them is to commit your whole army against enemy. As a bonus, Berserk ability gives full stamina to your unit. No wonder this is the top tier faction for rushing. And now some solid late game frontline. Maryannu of the King is very reliable and strong unit, and they will no longer headlessly charge into random enemy. For maximum efficiency use stances and cool ability that throws dirt into opponent and lowers their melee stats. Henku Guard is solid defensive late game frontline, and I highly recommend to use it with shield wall stance, so you can have 90% missile block and even more melee defense. And when you use that ability that throws dirt to enemy, you will win against most of elite opponents. Henku Warriors are strong chargers, they can even go YOLO against chariot. Use them deliberately because they are slower to disengage and must be protected from missiles. Throwing dirt as you charge is a very nasty way to delete your opponent. Canaanite Bowmen are the only missile unit of this roster, and they are cost efficient. They might have slow speed, average range and mediocre armor, but for their cost they deal nice damage. I always get value from them, usually bringing 1 or 2. Canaanite Chariots are versatile, so you can charge them into enemies and pull away quite quickly. Very good speed and charge is perfect for deleting routed enemies and for some quick cycle charges. Maryannu Chariots are heavy-duty chariots with very high charge bonus. Avoid blobs and healthy enemies, as you cannot get away so easily. Rather charge into enemies that you will finish off with a single charge. Irsu roster in few words would be efficient early game, YOLO charge mid game and solid late game. Infantry roster with 1 archer and 2 chariots. If you find this helpful, please subscribe, and if you have experience with Irsu, please write down in the comments how you played him and what units worked for you. That is all, and see you later.